And welcome back. You can tell I didn't get to this yesterday. For some reason, I just didn't feel up to doing it yesterday. But I've got both my what if and this today to do. So here we are. This one comes to us from Brandon Whitman, who pretty much suggested all the Espadas. So we'll get through all of them eventually. Plus a lot of Harry Potter characters. But Brandon Whitman, who asked the question, what Lantern Corps does Espada number 9, I always mispronounce his name. Aaroniero, I believe is his name. Hold on. Espada number 9. I want to get his actual name up here. Arion. It's basically Aaron, Aaron, Iero. So Aaroniero Arruruerie. Yeah, I'm not Aaroniero. I know that first part at least. So we're just gonna go with that first part. So obviously, if you've never watched Bleach, it's one of my favorite anime personally because it's got pretty much a little bit of everything minus the romance, which it's not a romance anime, which is fine. But it's it's dealing with like spiritual beings, things along those lines. And the Espada were a group of they were the bad guys in one arc. They are a group of hollows, which are evil spirits, if you to simplify it. That evolved past just being normal evil spirits and are now these individuals who are on par with like the stronger characters in the series, and they were led by the main bad guy. Aaroniero is ranked as the 9th strongest. Now, Aaroniero, see, with almost all the other Espada, they actually have a distinct enough personality. Like with Yami. Yami was the 10th one, /01, that we did, was the first Espada down here. His moniker was Rage. Like, his literally aspect of death was Rage. And it made sense that he would be a Red Lantern. So it's not hard to see why he was a Red Lantern. When we get to individuals like Grimjow, when we get to Espada 8 would be the next one on the list that we'd be getting to eventually. Espada 8, even Noritora, Ukihara, I mean, all the other guys, with the exception of maybe the 7th, they all have a distinct enough personality that they can be kind of classified a lot easier into Lantern Corps. However, I'll admit, Aaroniero, not exactly. Aaroniero gets one major fight against Rukia. Unfortunately, he spends most of that fight as basically looking like another character because he's able to. Basically, his ability is to absorb other hollows and steal their abilities. He claims that he had, what was it? He consumed approximately 33,650 hollows. So, but as a personality, he technically has two different personalities because he's got basically little heads and jars in his real form. His real head is actually a jar with two little balls in there. It's difficult to kind of pinpoint where this guy's personality really falls. So let's get out of the way real quick here. All the Espada pretty much on some level could qualify for either the Green Lantern Corp or the Yellow Lantern Corp of Fear. Green because it does take a large amount of willpower to control the abilities they have. Yellow because as Espada they do inspire a certain amount of fear throughout their ranks and among the Shinigami. So that's out of the way right there. There are two other corps in Aarioniero's case that I want to go over though. One is I was going to go with the other one, but one is the Indigo Lantern Corps, and the other is the Black Lantern Corps. Now, with the Black Lantern Corps, I say this because technically speaking, hollows are spirits, so therefore they died. Shinigami technically are the same, but you can also literally be born a Shinigami. You can get married, have a kid as a Shinigami. So the Shinigami are classed as actually their own species of individual. Even though most of them, if not even though about 99% of them still just look human. Hollows, not so much. So, because they are technically dead, you could make the argument that Black is the suitable Lantern Corp for them. Now, I wouldn't go with black myself, only because, at least not with Aaroniero. Other ones, maybe because they are a bit more enwrapped in death itself. So, but just despite the fact he's technically dead and he does kill people, I actually don't think that black is a suitable Lantern Corp for Aaroniero, simply on the grounds that there's not enough to really symbolize death with him, besides what he is. And even then, what he is, there's a firm argument, and I kind of make the argument that it doesn't really work with the Espada very well. Then the other one, Indigo. Now, Indigo, I'll be flat out honest, might actually be the best Lantern Corp for him. And why is that? Because to qualify for the Indigo League of Compassion, or Indigo Corp of Compassion, you need to have compassion be your strongest emotion, easy, or you actually have to have no compassion in your heart whatsoever. Most of the Espada deck don't have compassion in their heart at all. Now, that being said, with others, there are other emotions that would probably work better even than compassion. But it's one of those things that if you don't have compassion, you could be a candidate simply because it basically evens you out, is what it is. Because the Indigo ring is actually a parasitic ring. It steals your free will, makes you basically one of us. And you don't even get an identity at that point. So the question then becomes, do I think it's the actual best Lantern Corp for him? I did kind of say it, but do I actually think that? It's definitely a good candidate. I would say that Will is still a possible good candidate because of how many hollows he's consumed and how many abilities he's got to control from that. Fear is possible, but the problem with Fear when you're low ranked is that, especially when you're 9 out of 10, is that there are literally 8 other individuals, technically 9 when you get to Yami, when he transforms, 8 other individuals who are stronger than you and therefore don't fear you at all. Not to mention the 3 Shinigami who are running things. Not to mention any other standard hollows or Shinigami that he could face. He's just, unfortunately, he just kind of falls short when it comes to fear. Will is still a good category, just because it takes a lot of effort to control that much power. But ultimately, I actually will say, I think it might be Compassion. I think Compassion is, the Indigo League, is actually a good fit for Aaroniero simply because he lacks any real form of compassion. Now, that said, I do want to address the Orange Lantern Corp, Greed and Avarice, because that ability of Gluttoneria, which is the name of his Zanpakuto, his sword, which takes form of this worm, the name it's designed to consume and eat, and he's consumed over 33,000 hollows. So the question then becomes, wouldn't that be a good qualification for him? Well, ability doesn't translate to personality necessarily. Yes, he's consumed a lot of hollows. Yes, he is very much his ability is the consumption. And maybe he is always looking for the next big score when it comes to hollows to eat. But from what we gathered from his personality, despite the fact that his power is basically consuming other hollows, he doesn't come off as a guy who always wants more, who's always greedy. Comes off more as a guy who, whenever he got the chance, he would eat them. But he wasn't constantly on the look for more hollows. I must have more. I am never satisfied. That didn't come off as Aaroniero. So ultimately, I couldn't justify Avarice with him. But that's where I stand. I think honestly, the Lantern Corp Compassion is a good fit given the weird parameters that Lantern Corp Compassion has. What do you think, Aaroniero? Who do you think Aaroniero? What do you think Aarioniero's Lantern Corp would be? Where do you think he fits? Put in the comments below, let me know. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to notifications. I'll be back with What If. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.